Budapest is Europe's most underrated big city. At least that's the claim of Rick Steves, who we all know as the Mr. Rogers of travel.
Hi, I'm Rick Steves.
We have traveled most of Europe, but we have yet to cross off Budapest from the list. Now it's time, and we are going to thoroughly review this city right from the usual tourist traps, magnificent old world architecture and Hungarian food, to ruin bars, local markets, and some of the quirkiest experiences we have had in all of Europe.
On this trip, it's not just Jon and me. In fact, my father invited the whole family on this trip as he's turning 60. He doesn't look a day over 57.
At our meeting point in Copenhagen Airport, our review starts as we are flying the Budapest-based airline Wizz Air. Now, Wizz Air has a spectacularly poor image when reading through, well, all the reviews. Stay as far as you can from sick criminals. Airlines that offer cheap flights get away with murder. Luckily for Wizz Air, we don't judge an airline by its windshield. There was tons of legroom for anyone below 5 feet. We were 8 people spread across the plane, which means we were able to befriend new people. There was a cute fish pond in the bathroom sink. The plane also stayed in the air all the way to Budapest, which deserved a round of applause. Five stars. Welcome to Budapest! Woo!
Welcome to Hungary! From the airport to Budapest, your two options are taxi and bus.
We paid 17,000 hoof for the bus, which is a little bit cheaper than 2 taxis.
That fun fact.
Despite being in the European Union, Hungary uses the forint, which often confuses visitors as meals cost thousands.
On an immediate glance, Budapest isn't all that pretty. Communistic architecture mixed with American corporate capitalism is a curious combo, but eventually the stunning buildings revealed themselves. Being dropped off in the city center for just €5 per person, the airport bus earned 5 stars. The birthday boy had booked an Airbnb smack bang in the Jewish quarter, which is one of Budapest's most vibrant neighborhoods. Our home for the next 4 nights is located in a building that shows clear signs from the war. Or perhaps it's just worn down. We didn't know for sure.
Does it work? Amelia? I don't think you can open here.
The host spent 20 minutes begging us not to party too hard, as apparently this is a party Airbnb with its 5 fairly minimalistic bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, stunning artwork on the walls, and a few signs of wear and tear. €700 for 4 nights is a good deal.
This is our home.
Pro tip.
Getting lost in a new city is part of the adventure, unless you're actually lost with no data. In other words, you need Google Maps, which means you need data.
How else are you going to find the Flippermúzeum or Hungarian pizza? How will you book a Bolt taxi? To avoid paying outrageous roaming prices or the hassle of finding a local SIM card, we always use Olafly eSIM. Even my mom set hers up in Vietnam. And as I mentioned to her many times before that, it's not a physical SIM card.
So we simply choose our destination, number of days, and how many eSIMs. Here in Budapest, we're paying $33.80 for 4 days covering both of us. It gets cheaper the more days you buy. So in Vietnam, we're paying less than $5 per day as we are away for a month.
We cannot recommend Olafly enough, so whether you're heading to Budapest or basically anywhere around the world, scan this QR code or click our link in the description below to get your eSIM.
Pro tip.
Today is the first time that we travel as a couple with my family, because Jon has never been on a true Willumsen vacation. We have joined my whole family on my father's side.
Where are we going, guys? What do you want to eat? We can't get Danish hot dogs here. Sarah?
I do not care, as long as I get food in my tummy.
Jon is the guy who wants 4.5 ratings on Google, and now he's filming.
4.7. So since we are in Hungary, we're actually starting out with a typical Vietnamese restaurant. 4.8.
Nå, velkommen til Budapest. Skål.
The fresh spring rolls were like taking a time machine to Ho Chi Minh City. In fact, the noodles and tofu were so good, we immediately booked our flights. 71 euros for 8 people is beyond affordable. The kind staff also taught us that pink means sparkling and blue means still. 5 stars.
That fun fact.
The Danube River flowing through Budapest is Europe's busiest waterway, connecting 10 countries and serving as a crucial trade route.
There's something special about walking the streets in a city you've never been. Everything is new and exciting. Except Budapest is old and majestic. It's not a controversial statement to claim Budapest is Europe's most beautiful city. Especially not when you walk along the Danube River. Holy tongueless lion, this place is stunning.
Wherever you look, almost, you are met by the kind of architecture that isn't subjectively, but objectively beautiful. Everyone agrees this is magical. It's a remnant of a time where everything wasn't centered around maximizing profit margins and functional architecture wasn't devoid of aesthetics. This comes from an era when people believed that our visual surroundings profoundly impact our quality of life. And guess what? Quality of life seems pretty good here.
Budapest were two cities that merged together. That is Buda, known by the hills, and that is Pest, that's how you pronounce it, Pest, known for its flat, more modern attributes.
This bridge was opened in 1849 and it changed the whole dynamic of the Budapest because finally they could connect the two sides of the city into one. There's a legend about the sculptures here because these lions that are in each end of the...
Come back, it's okay.
Are you ready, Lara? Do you want to hear a story?
Yes, okay.
There are 2 lions on each end of the bridge and the guy who made them, he actually jumped and died in the river because people were making so much fun about the fact that these lions, they don't have a tongue. They were wearing a thong.
What a story.
Isn't that a great story? Yeah.
Amelia,
Yeah.
first impression so far of Budapest.
I love Budapest and I think we need a lot more time than we have because it seems like,
We have 4 days.
yeah.
You don't
It's
think
such
that's
a-
enough?
I don't know, it's just there's so many old buildings and I want to go inside.
The air is amazing here.
Yeah, you can feel that you're in a big city, right?
It's
and
so
it's
fresh.
green everywhere. I saw online that they have a 4 Seasons here in such a crazy historical building and the gold that you can see on the building is legit real gold.
Wow, I absolutely love these glass atriums they have. You can book a night here tonight for 1,000 euros. Would you pay 1,000 euros to stay here for one night?
Probably not.
No? No?
No.
No?
We loved our stay in the lobby.
Around the corner from 4 Seasons, we were met by a perfectly illuminated basilica, the St. Stephen Basilica. Being a European, we've seen plenty of those, so at first we weren't overwhelmed beyond the, sure, this is beautiful. But upon entering, we were in awe. No words, only tears. So we do all our spiritual retreats every 2 months. And I swear what just happened in there was like a complete connection with whatever we connect with when we do ayahuasca. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. I'm still in awe.
This is all we have today. Okay. We want this. We want this.
That fun fact.
The 360-degree view from the top of St. Stephen's Basilica dome reveals the true beauty of Budapest. Unfortunately, it was closed when we were there.
That fun fact.
You look so beautiful.
Hi.
Bye, you too.
Kussi.
Well stretched out, we learned that you should definitely respect the parking signs here in Budapest. A short stroll further up the street, we passed the opera, and once again, we were left in awe.
This is just everywhere. Literally wherever you're looking, you find this just truly marvelous architecture.
That fun fact.
Budapest sits on a treasure trove of over 120 hot springs, which provide more than 70 million liters of thermal water daily, fueling the city's iconic bath culture.
That fun fact.
Before heading home, the family wanted a late-night coffee at this beautiful cafe, although this review made us a bit unsettled.
Beware, the owners have cameras in the toilets. The only reason I can think of is owner's permission.
Where are the cameras? There are no cameras.
We did not find any cameras at the toilet. The coffee tasted like coffee, but we prefer Bloom coffee as it's organic, non-GMO, 100% Arabica and absolutely delicious. Go to sipbloom.coffee to get yourself a beautiful bag of Bloom coffee that not only wakes you up, but works as a stunning decor in your home. Anyway, nice atmosphere.
Although the intention was to sleep, this Greek joint made an offer we couldn't refuse. Dolmades.
Oh man, I love Budapest.
I have tzatziki.
With 13 hours of sleep, the Willumsen family was gathered for a family portrait and Hungarian food. Or at least we think.
Excuse me, is this Hungarian food? Yeah?
It was surprisingly great. I think these are magic mushrooms, or at least this Hungarian sandwich tasted magical. I feel like a kid in a candy store. In our family, we did not grow up with wine. We grew up with candy.
It's a beautiful candy. It's very nice to see all this candy. I love it.
There is no doubt that Budapest has advanced on the commercial side of things. There's a strong sense of catering to tourists to the point where most seems dedicated to, well, tourism. I'm sure it does get touristy, but here in late September, Budapest feels authentic and real. Whether that's also the case on Castle Hill, we are about to find out.
It's a scooter for a wheelchair. I have never ever seen that.
So Castle Hill is the single most important place to visit for any first-timer coming to Budapest. It's sort of like Disney World, but without roller coasters and screaming kids. You come for these 4 main attractions: Buda Castle, Fisherman's Bastion, Matthias Church, and Jamie Oliver Restaurant.
There you go. Easy.
Getting to Castle Hill is a joy as you get to cross the tongueless Lion Bridge, which offers great photo opportunities. Obviously, it's too early to review Castle Hill, but we were not thrilled having to climb this hill. Where's the elevator? Oh, there it is.
The Budavári Sikló is probably the most charming funicular we've ever laid eyes on, but the charm was quickly disrupted by the following 2 things: a long line of humans and a €12 per person price tag.
The walk is a delightful 7 minutes, and when we reached the top, neither of the 2 funiculars had moved.
That fun fact.
The height of buildings in Budapest is restricted, with St. Stephen's Basilica and the Hungarian Parliament both standing at 96 meters, symbolizing equality between church and state.
That fun fact.
With stunning views to Budapest and my hot girlfriend, we were met by a Buda Castle under restoration. That was slightly disappointing.
That fun fact.
There's a maze of underground tunnels beneath Buda Castle, once used as a medieval prison and rumored to have housed Vlad the Impaler, the inspiration for Dracula.
That fun fact.
Castle Hill is straight out of a fairy tale world. Except for this brain fart of a misplaced building, it's so charming here. Like, truly. It's like your soul has returned to home. Look at this, it's magical. This is Matthias Church, and this is one of the places we have been the most excited about seeing on this trip.
I am just completely in awe with this Castle Hill here. This is
The whole thing is just so beautiful.
It is perhaps the most beautiful place I have ever seen, because everywhere you look, with a few exceptions,
It's
it is
just stunning.
unbelievable. Let's bring on the conspiracy hat, Amalia.
Oh boy.
Visiting churches like this has always been underwhelming because I never had an interest or understanding of the sheer depths of the symbolism. I shallowly look at the building and think to myself, cool, that's pretty, let's move on. But a church is much more than aesthetic beauty. It's a mystical blueprint that gives answers but leaves you with more questions. Did you know the swastika actually represents good fortune, eternity, and the cyclical nature of life? It's like you're walking inside the mind on the psychedelic experience. That's the best way to describe it. The presence of geometric symbols, similar to those seen in pagan or pre-Christian art, suggests a link to ancient knowledge that predates Christianity. There's a long-standing conspiracy theory that suggests that the builders and architects of churches and cathedrals were influenced by secret societies who encoded their esoteric wisdom into these structures. These patterns could be veiled references to ancient mysteries or spiritual practices meant to guide the faithful along a path of enlightenment. We can't help ask these questions. Was the church designed solely to glorify God and the Hungarian heritage? How can it be that these motifs and patterns are found in many different spiritual traditions worldwide, from medieval Europe to ancient civilizations, let alone the churches themselves?
You make very compelling argument.
Anyway, let's have some chimney cake. This is Hungary's oldest pastry, dating back to the 18th century. You'll find this on every street corner, to the point of Snickers and Oreo-flavored chimney cakes, which has to be some kind of national blasphemy. We opted for the real deal, which is the cinnamon-flavored chimney cake.
So you don't mix it with ice cream or anything?
No.
Okay. Is it healthy?
Yeah, sure. Look at me, I'm 100 years old.
You're 100 years. Wow. So much cinnamon. Wow.
Yeah.
It's crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside, and then with a sugar cinnamon top.
It tastes delicious.
It's good.
We have literally made it to one of the highlights of our trip, for sure. This is Fisherman's Basin, and it's actually named after the fishermen who actually used this. It was in honor of the fishermen that they built this.
Yes, you can call me a conspiracy theorist at times, but you know, when you look at the details everywhere, it is just so unbelievable how they were able to make it.
Yeah.
If they were actually chiseling out all this with a hammer and a chisel, then they would need thousands of stone sculptures. And how did they get the precision
Yeah,
correct?
we have to remember they built this before there were any power tools. That's so crazy, right?
The precision is what really gets me, like the dimensions and how they were able to just make it perfect. How epic is this?
Fucking epic.
Huh? This is a great example also on the contrast here. Communism, epicness. I find it just beyond mind-blowing that they would allow this to be built next to, you know, a landmark like this. Who would sit at the city council and be like, yeah, sure. Standing here at the top of Budapest, we try to understand the good Rick Steves. Is he right about Budapest being underrated? And if so, why? We think Budapest is underrated in the sense that it's overseen. Prague is usually the go-to city in Eastern Europe, which makes it easy to forget all the other ones like Bratislava, Bucharest, and Budapest. Budapest is also surprisingly gentrified. It's shockingly clean. We feel safe. There's tons of things to see and do. There's an impressive international food scene. Long story short, Budapest has it all.
That fun fact.
Budapest has the world's cheapest Michelin-starred restaurant, Borkonia, where a 3-course meal costs around 25 euros.
That fun fact.
Energized by the wonderful castle hill, we set the destination towards the Hungarian parliament. On our way, we met the Hungarian freedom fighter Mansfeld Peter, who was executed by the communist regime just 18 years and 11 days old. He's hanging here as a stark reminder of communism never again. Halfway there, the Willumsen family decided to swap the parliament with Fashion Street as a way of honoring the capitalism that defeated communism here in Budapest.
It's time to check out the Budapest shopping, and I am going to buy myself a tracksuit. I mean, this is probably the prettiest H&M we have ever been to.
So pretty.
Why do you think it is that you come to another big city and then you want to go shop in the shops you also have where you live?
I don't know.
It's like living in New York City and going to Chicago and be excited about the McDonald's.
Zara and H&M, they actually have very different items here than they do other places. That's the truth.
So the selection is more unique. My quest to get a tracksuit continued, but came to an abrupt ending.
I don't think I can pull it off.
This is so ugly for you.
One of the downsides of Budapest is getting around. It is very much walking, which is nice when you haven't seen anything at all. But when you want to go from A to B quick here in the center, it's just difficult.
That fun fact.
The minimum salary in Hungary is 709 euros per month, which is among the very lowest in Europe.
That fun fact.
Is it the birthday party we're going to now?
Yes, it's a birthday dinner.
Søren, 60 years old, has invited us to Mazeltov. And this is a ruin bar, Amalie. What is a ruin bar?
A ruin bar is a restaurant that's built inside one of the old ruins that was destroyed during the war. Well, son of a preacher man.
Skål! A quick pro tip is to never read reviews when you are already there. Reading a few of these was enough to stir the anxiety soup of the mind.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
But guess what? Food was fabulous. At Mazeltov in Budapest, there's a place divine, where flavors burst and memories intertwine. With family gathered and live music afloat, your taste buds will sail on a savory boat.
So far, the food is excellent. Pita so fluffy they could almost take flight at $2.99. Quite a deal, though no booze in sight.
It was freaking good. My chicken was epic.
Yeah? How do you rate it? The Budapest breakfast culture is a circus. A good circus. Great coffee is always easy to find, and saliva-releasing breakfast can be found on most corners, so no need to be a silly tourist.
Dana, are you hungry?
Yes. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
That fun fact.
Budapest Metro Line 1, known as the Millennium Underground, was completed in 1896 and is the oldest electrified underground railway in Europe.
That fun fact.
As the weather continued to shine upon us, we set out on yet another Willumsen adventure. It was finally time to check out the parliament. How on earth can you make it so freaking perfect? I am so excited to see it inside.
Most importantly, why did they go to such great length to build this?
That fun fact.
The Hungarian parliament building is so large that 40 kilograms of 23-karat gold were used in its construction, making it the third largest parliament building in the world.
That fun fact.
The foundation of this building is symmetry. Perfect symmetry. And there are 691 rooms, 10 courtyards. So I think they should turn it into a hotel. Could be a cabin or an ibis.
There is no cost or line to admire the parliament from the outside, but if you want to get inside, it's a different story.
We have to wait 2 hours.
So you have to pay for a guided tour. You can't explore it by yourself, and you can only buy tickets the same day, which means that you have to wait for an hour or 2 hours, and we were not able to do that.
Is it absolutely necessary to see the parliament from the inside? It's definitely faster to look at photos online, but for us, the fascination is the exterior. Again, we're left with so many questions. What was the original intent with this structure? Why does this parliament need 691 rooms? Why so many pointy spires? And how come you have similar structures across the planet, all of which built completely independently of each other?
Buda fun fact.
Budapest boasts the world's longest trams, with some extending over 56 meters long, which is enough to fit over 300 passengers at once.
Buda fun fact.
From the most visited attraction in Budapest, we took a 7-minute bolt to the third most visited attraction, the Great Market Hall. With hundreds of stalls spread across 3 levels, this market is a vibrant hub of deliciousness. You can spend many hours here exploring the vast selection of honey, fruits, nuts, sausages, chocolate, babuskas. However, here paprika is the king of delicacies, as it is a cornerstone of Hungarian cuisine and culture. It comes in many varieties of flavors, from sweet to spicy, and even paprika chocolate.
What do you cook it with? What do you make it with? Goulash?
Goulash,
Goulash?
paprika, chicken, burger, fish, all that.
So the Central Market Hall is perhaps the most reviewed place in all of Budapest, and it is huge. It is quite interesting. It's cool, but what I find generally here in Budapest is that everything that can be commercialized is commercialized. It's expensive, you know. You would expect, or I expected, prices to be lower in general, but I guess EU is becoming so streamlined that there isn't much difference from country to country. Okay, just to back up what I just said.
This one is mine.
This is €4. This is €4.
This is so good.
Upon buying a super cute babushka, we talked with this vendor who described the financial challenges many of the locals deal with.
Here it's nice to visit. With your money, it's nice to visit. I cannot go to the Sicilian Thermal Spa because it's so expensive for me. My wife, she's working for a flat, I'm working for the food.
Are the locals, are they annoyed with the tourists? Or?
Complex question. So statistically, tourism is good. A lot of people. Where? Hotel, restaurants. Souvenirs, look how many have bag. Nobody buy nothing. So if you come and go, you are 2, 3, 4, 10, 100 person. If you don't buy nothing, for me it's not good. For the restaurant it's good. For the hotel it's good. But if you expend €2 or €1, my boss pay a lot of money for this store.
How much is a stall like this, you know?
Forget it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you guys, have a nice day.
Buda fun fact.
Hungary's Tokaji-Asu was the world's first classified wine region predating France's Bordeaux. The French king Louis XIV even called it the wine of kings and the king of wines.
Buda fun fact.
With more than 15,000 steps in the bank, we abandoned the family for a 1-hour Thai massage session. Hello.
Hello, are you open?
Yes.
This looks very nice. Where are you from in Thailand? Bangkok?
Yes, very near Bangkok.
Why are you in Budapest?
Good eat, for
Good.
fruit.
Yes?
Yes.
You think Hungarian food is better than Thai food?
No, fruit.
Thai food.
Ah, fruit!
Yes,
No, but you have more fruits in Thailand, no?
but different things.
Different.
And I can go other country around.
Ah, you can travel.
Yes.
Very good.
I've been wanting to lay down all day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have one leg.
Yeah?
Too much Thai, one leg. That's why.
Yes.
Really?
Probably the best in my life. Now we are relaxed. Now we can return
To your
the
family. With legs that aren't evenly long, Amalie convinced me to explore the finer things in life at Parisi Udvar. This is a fancy 5-star hotel where you can be sure they overcharge you, but frankly, we were okay with that given these otherworldly surroundings. The official story says that this is Hungary's first modern shopping mall, built in 1817. If that's true, I would have been a raging shopaholic back then. This is probably why you come to Budapest. You sit here and you pretend the olden days. What the fuck did they build this marvelous piece of
jewelry.
Guys, a little higher up so we can get. Okay, up here, guys, up here.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. When it comes to Hungarian cuisine, there are two things you must try: langosh and goulash. It's everywhere, and although the family isn't impressed by high Google ratings, they agreed to eat here as the exchange rate was good.
I saw a restaurant earlier which was half Hungarian and Italian. Because this is like a Hungarian pizza. It's bread with cheese that is not melted.
For me, this is what you eat on a ski vacation. I think I have the best food of the night.
Really?
Just saying, yeah.
Although being bribed with shots to leave a good review goes against our Google rating policy, we had a great experience here.
What's it called?
Palinko.
Palinko. Palinko. What's your name?
Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah.
5 stars to Kevin.
This is my gypsy sister.
The following morning, we celebrated my brother's 30th birthday with a classical Danish breakfast table. Immediately after, Jon and I snuck out to experience Budapest's fanciest coffee place.
They say it's the most beautiful cafe in the world, but the reviews also say it's the most overpriced and shitty place.
Sometimes you just gotta give in to your guilty pleasures. I wanted to feel like a queen in queenly surroundings with live classical music and a pianist who takes requests. Unfortunately, we were given perhaps the least queenly table of the house, but as the temporary queen I was, I had Jon make sure we get an upgrade.
Oh, that's the gold? Is that the real gold? Oh.
I can say without any doubt that this is the most expensive cup of coffee I have ever had. Oh my god.
Can you do primavera? It's called
So.
Oh, they're very nice. What's your name? Stephanie. We will make sure to mention you in our review. 5 stars.
The fam wants to go to a Mystica museum, so Jon and I are in for a new experience today.
We honestly had no idea what to expect. We must admit that we are slightly judgmental when it comes to gimmicky museums like these, but thankfully we were proven wrong. Immersed in digital and interactive art, we spent over 2 hours here. It's like a huge meditation and sound healing facility where spirituality merges with AI technology, and weirdly enough, it kind of works. Perhaps it's not as powerful as live music in the Basilica, but it's not far from it. We asked this AI oracle what the meaning of life is and how to let go.
Releasing attachment, forgiving, trusting the universe, and embracing freedom from your emotions.
我如何变成世界上最富有的人？
It even responded in Chinese.
你的财富将在手中进行，但真正的力量吸引着你。
What did it say?
Jeg sagde, hvordan kan vi lide den rigeste mand i verden?
Although Hungarian food isn't terrible at all, it was really the Lebanese food scene that stole the show. There aren't any historical reason for why you find the Lebanese food to this extent, but we were not complaining at all. Just thinking about these dolmades have me salivate, and as you can tell, the Willumsen family shared our excitement.
Are we happy with the food?
Fantastic food.
At this restaurant right here, it's probably the best food we've had on the trip.
After almost 4 days of sun, the rain finally caught up with us, which meant more museums.
It's raining so hard that we found the most random museum of all time.
Buda fun fact.
Budapest has over 200 museums and galleries, right from the Hungarian National Museum to this quirky pinball museum.
Buda fun fact.
We went to the Flippermúzeum because we simply couldn't ignore the insane ratings where virtually everyone agrees it's the shit. We didn't know what to expect, but quickly we realized that this was a giant arcade with hundreds of historic pinball machines. And the best part? You can play all of them.
This is so much fun. There's so many fun games. Amelia, there's so many fun games here. There's like Pac-Man and...
It's really old school. Whoa! Yeah! You go to the man! I have to say this is freaking epic. I thought this was gonna be a boring museum, but it's actually hilarious. And they have so many different machines. And on every single machine you can see when it is from. So this one, which we just played on, is from 1975, and the one that they are playing on right now is from 1995.
I mean, this one is from just after Second World War. We were blown away by this collection of iconic pinball machines. Here's Pac-Man, which won the Guinness Book of Records as the world's most popular game of all time back in 1981. Many of these are rare collectibles worth fortunes. An original Pac-Man machine sells for over 7,000 euros. This Indiana Jones pinball machine from 1993 sells for 20,000 euros.
I love this. This is so much fun.
I really don't want to film anything because I just want to play. And we have 1 hour before we're going on a boat cruise.
Er det modstand?
Ja.
Amalia, that's not arm wrestling.
That's what she did.
Hey! This was honestly such a refreshing experience that took us back to the days where digital games had soul and charisma. We could have spent the entire day here.
It's wet and we are going on the ocean. That's our boat.
As a final hooray, my brother had invited the family on a sunset cruise. And although the son had other plans, it was clear that you can't go to Budapest without going on a river cruise.
Buda fun fact.
The river cruise scene in Budapest is legendary, with some of the most luxurious riverboats passing through.
Buda fun fact.
I am just beyond soaking wet, but this makes up for it. Wow, 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 wow.
Back at Castle Hill, we had our last Budapest errand, birthday dinner at Jamie's. And while the food and service was all right, it was the truly stunning toilet facilities that made the experience memorable.
It's almost time to say bye to Budapest. Cheers! To Budapest!
With a mix of old and modern communist buildings waving goodbye, it was time for Vietnam.
Now let's go to Ho Chi Minh.
With time to digest our Budapest adventure and a cup of our own delicious Bloom coffee, we suddenly found ourselves in Ho Chi Minh City.
Was the
I think Budapest is 5 stars. 5 stars, straight off the cuff. It is probably, in my opinion, the most beautiful city in Europe.
As a thank you to my father, I would like to encourage all of you guys to comment in the comments. Happy birthday, Søren.
Thank you.
Daddy, go read the comments. They're for you.